It's no secret that college tuition is skyrocketing, even in a rickety economy. But as Marquette's undergraduate tuition and fees surpass the $30,000 mark for next school year, the Marquette Tribune asks, is a Marquette education worth the price tag?
See, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because I love Marquette and I think that the education we get is of great quality. Do I think it's necessarily worth $30,000 a year? No, but do I need an education? Yes. And this is where I feel at home and I love it here. So, I mean, if I went to different schools, I like this atmosphere. I like the private school atmosphere. I like the Jesuit atmosphere. So, if I went to a different place, the tuition would be just as high.
I think Marquette's an excellent place. It provides an excellent experience both inside and outside of the classroom. I think the tuition, though, that we're required to pay makes it really difficult for everyone to experience that. I think it's definitely worth it, but it's definitely kind of crippling to people who can't afford it, especially when it comes to loans and stuff.
I think it depends on the class for me. Like some of the classes that are specific to my major, I feel like I'm getting what I'm paying for. I'm learning a lot of stuff that I'm going to use in the future. But some of the general larger courses where I feel like I'm not really paid attention to, I feel like it's a little steep.
I think the tuition is, in respect to what other colleges are charging, I think we're probably getting a pretty good on par, but I think some of the external costs of the tuition are pretty overpriced, like what we pay for room and board freshman and sophomore year, and how we're basically forced to do that. It's kind of a little bit over the top.
Oh, I'm sure it will. I mean, when I was applying, it was close to 30, and it was my parents' concern. And since they are helping me come to college, and a lot of parents do, and some students don't even have parents to help them go to college, I think it definitely will scare some people off.
I think it'll definitely have a bigger impact on prospective students because, a lot of students who are already here, they understand why the price tag is going up and they love it so much. I don't think they would leave because of, how much was the percentage increase. Over that 30 grand mark for prospective students and their parents especially who are looking at the financial numbers, it's not going to be a good thing. Just because a lot of kids will, the cutoff would be 30 grand. And if it goes above that, I think we would lose a good amount of people.
Definitely. I know when I was looking at colleges, it was a lot based upon tuition. So I think that a raise in the tuition price might, be kind of a setback for some people or might make them look at the school less.
I think it's a big number, when you first look at it. It's definitely a 3.0 rather than a 2.8. Just it's kind of a mental, wow, I'm really paying a lot for my education. But I think if you look at what you would be paying for other private school educations, it's, I don't know, not that bad. But I think if you're comparing it to state schools, obviously it's a little bit more daunting of a number.
College is more, to me, it's more than just sitting in a classroom and getting the education. So being somewhere where I'm comfortable and where I feel like I'm getting a good education and where I can have the great experiences that make my college experience what it is, if I have to pay $30,000 for that, then, in the long run, it's more debt. I'm going to be in debt anywhere I go.
People definitely get excited about basketball, especially just after watching the Seton Hall game today. It's just, you can hear it throughout all the hallways. But also that whole we are Marquette feeling, it really kind of emanates throughout everything that we're involved in here.
One of the big things is Marquette focuses a lot on volunteering and caring for the whole person, and I feel like that's something that it's worth a lot more than you're paying for. So I get a lot out of the volunteering that I do outside of the classroom, and I did a service learning outside of the classroom, and I think it's those kind of things that make the tuition worth it.
I went to a Jesuit high school, so I kind of came here for the continued Jesuit education. I think outside the classroom, the service and kind of being men and women for others is something that you don't get at a lot of universities. The importance of not just, if you're in the business school, it's not just about making money, it's about making money ethically and being a good person.